I'm the Dark Master, and welcome back to my LEGO reviews. This time we'll be reviewing set number 70674, Fire Fang from the Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu Season of Ninjago. It comes with 463 pieces, 4 minifigures. Now, like always, let's start with the minifigures. From left to right, we have a Pyro Slayer, a Pyro Destroyer, a Sphere, and Kai FS. Let's start with the foot soldiers. The first minifigure, a Pyro Slayer, is one of 3 quote-unquote distinct foot soldier types within the Pyro Viper army. It's clear that it is influenced by previous Serpentine, as well as Egyptian mummies. Starting from the head, the dual-molded brown and trans orange is based on the head of a cobra. The molding is exquisite with the numerous scales and flame waves. The light piping extends to the eyes and tongue. Beneath that is one of those back clip torso pieces, the purpose of which I'll discuss in a bit. Back to the front, the torso print is very detailed, much better than the Ice Samurai torso, with its brown skin and burning mummy wraps. The back printing, though usually hidden, is also decent with the flames spouting all around. The leg printing is simple, but works better than the Ice Samurai. There's no leg side printing, unfortunately. His arms are tan, and he has hands in the same brown as his face. With regards to weaponry, he uses an elven spear, which is now molded in copper. A great recolor. For protection, he also possesses one of these cool shield pieces in copper. Overall, both are really good pieces for mocking, and it's a decent figure overall. Now let's go over to the next completely different minifigure, the Pyro Destroyer. I was being sarcastic. The Pyro Destroyer is nearly identical to the Pyro Slayer, with the same head, torso, legs, and shield. What separates it is an armor piece molded in copper. I really like the design. It's very ornate with the snake heads. Unfortunately, the armor gets rid of what little head articulation the Slayer had, which wasn't much to begin with. So yeah, that's a con on both these figures. But still, it's decent. For his weapon, he wields a khopesh in copper. It's a new sword piece, I do believe, and is quite decent. Overall, this is an unoriginal figure, but it's okay, as it's meant to be a foot soldier. The final villain is the leader of the Pyro Vipers, Asphere. She's awesome. Golden, you might say. She uses the same head as the foot soldiers, but replaces the brown with the much better pearl gold. She also uses the same armor, but also molded in gold. Removing her armor, we get a great look at her amazing torso printing. I'm serious, all the scales and robes really provide the intricate, scaly curves that work with this figure. On the bottom, there are flames that serve as a transition to the tail. The legs are those old ghost legs. Now we call it an orange and yellowish. I like it. It gives her a distinct appearance from the other tailed Serpentine. She wields a spear powered by one of the 2 scrolls of Forbidden Spinjitzu, this time within the flame configuration. By the way, this set also comes with the earth and ice configuration for those that like mocking, and I think you can get good use for them. It's a decent plastic piece, and the spear is dual molded in gold and trans orange. Overall, this is one of my favorite Ninjago villains since the Hands of Time, and this minifigure just amazing. Now let's go over to the sole hero of the set. That hero is Kai in his FS Forbidden Spinjitzu form wielding two katanas. His printing is excellent, with the numerous belts and pockets. The flame symbol on his back is a nice touch, but the biggest change is the new ninja hood piece made for this wave. It's another dual mold. Those are common in the set. The trans orange and red. It really gives off the appearance of a flame, as if the hood is transferring into like elemental energy. The molding really helps that. The face printing is the same since the movie. I don't really want to talk about that again because I've talked about it every time I review a set of this kind. But I guess it's good. The two faces are decent. Kai comes with a new Spinjitzu tornado piece. At first, in the leaks, I thought it looked a lot like the Legacy spinners, but no, this new mold lacks the clips for customization, so it's automatically a downgrade. It does have this cool glitter and wave effects, which is pretty good, I guess. This particular spinner is molded in red and trans orange. It might have mock potential, but it needs a clear inverted stud to spin. Likely that comes, off and you lose it, which is, horrible, but you can just use another inverted one, I guess. Now that we've gone over the minifigures, let's go over the builds. Let's start with the side builds. Up first, we got this odd little altar / shrine. It appears to be a lava / obsidian brick holder for a scepter. This is completely non-canon. We don't really see this in the show. So the scepter is basically a golden bar with a lightsaber hilt with a red gem. This has no story relevance, as I said before, except that it might be what a certain explorer would want to get. I'm just making that up, though. I guess this is useful if you want to do like a museum mock, I guess. But otherwise, it's pretty much pointless. Now let's go over the other side build. The Iron Throne. Nah, it's not the Iron Throne, obviously. It's a Lego original thing that just so happens to resemble the famous chair of the North. The tan and gold katanas really look impressive. And as expected, it really has awesome flag pieces with these really awesome printing that indicates it's forever burning. The chair can be articulated so that Asphira always looks like she's standing up, even with her, odd ghost tail. And a cool little feature is you can put this throne on top of her pet Fire Fang, and the two sets actually still stand. Like, it still stands even with the full-on throne on it. Though it is a little more top-heavy if you do that. So now let's go over the main build of the set, Fire Fang. Fire Fang is the second of the brick-built serpents made by Ninjago, the first being the Great Devourer. And this just blows it out of the water. The numerous new pieces, as well as the awesome plastic piece, really give it a more of an organic shape in comparison to the original Great Devourer. I mean, look at these amazing belly scales. It's just fantastic. They really bring to life like this statue, but it's still a living thing. Now, of course, there's no neck articulation, which, no, that's understandable. I mean, there needs to be like stability, especially with the throne on top. So I can understand, but I don't know. I think even the head has more articulation than the Great Devourer, so that's one good thing. Moving down, we get to see the tail, and the tail actually has this gear that allows it to go back and forth. Now, this wasn't in the original Great Devourer set, but it has been in Dragon sets, and I really think this is much better because it allows you to imagine that it's slowly slithering down. Now, it's very repetitive in a build, if I'm being honest, with the repeated use of these big lava stones, but that's okay because I think it works. Now, the tail segment is really special. You see, they have this rattler tail, which, I know cobras don't have rattles, but there's also not living snake mummies either, so realism is an acceptable removal of that. You have these things that hold these pieces in them, and they really make the whole rattle sound. There's also these two stud shooters for, I guess, holding the extra pieces. One final thing to note is that these really cool chains can be attached to the backs of the little minions. And for a second, let me go over the head a bit because it's pretty cool. The head is just fantastic. It is way better than the Great Devourer with its whole sort of. It has a tongue for one thing, which is a plastic piece, much like the hood. And I know people don't like plastic pieces; they prefer it to be brick built. But I don't really think you could have done this well with bricks. But I could be wrong. Some mockers could prove me wrong. They always do. You got this another sticker. There's a lot of stickers in the set. And if you don't like stickers, that might be a con, but I don't mind them. You can leave them off and it doesn't really affect anything. Overall, this is an excellent main build. Probably the best snake ever in LEGO, I would say. So overall, how would I judge this set? Well, firstly, I think this is probably the best snake ever made in Lego. I've said that before, but I really enjoy the set. It could have, I think, used more heroes, perhaps. Maybe not make it so one-sided. But then again, I understand why they wanted to focus exclusively on this. They could have removed the little shrine and put those pieces into the Fire Fang. Overall, I don't think that was needed. But this is just an excellent set. I love the minifigures. I love Asphera, and as much as I make fun of the Pyro Destroyer, it is a decent army builder. I think the Pyro Vipers fill the niche of army building way better than the Ice Samurai. It's just something about them that makes them way more generic, but it works. Overall, I would buy this set if you can get it, and it's still in storage, unlike a lot of the sets I review. So buy it. This has been Dark Master. Remember, like and subscribe for more LEGO reviews.